We're still in lockdown, so today we're back in my garden. Now, last week I had so many questions about my home golf setup, where different items were from, if I would recommend them, so today I'm going to do a full review of my home golf practice setup. Okay, first up I've got the Ford Pro pop-up golf net. Now, honestly, I was a bit worried about this when I first saw it because I've never used a net with no sides on it before, and I did think my neighbours might get some stray golf balls in their gardens. But I have to say, once it's up, first up, this is quite a big hitting area, so you don't really need to worry about stray shots, and also because there's no sides, you end up stood a lot nearer to it than you would with a traditional cage, so therefore if you do hit the dreaded shank, it should still catch it. Now, unlike my last net, this was really easy to set up. It literally took like 5 to 10 minutes maximum. Clearly I'm not the tallest, so I did need a chair to hook the top of the net on, but other than that, really it was a very simple build. I would say initially from looking at pictures of this online before it arrived, it doesn't necessarily look that sturdy, so I've been really surprised when I tested this out because it is super robust. This normally comes with pegs to kind of attach it into the turf. Obviously I'm on a patio here, so I couldn't use that, so I've just put some stones down to weigh it down instead, but I've left this out all night. I live on top of a hill, it can get very windy, and literally it's never looked like moving once. I've also hit a lot of golf balls into this already, and I've also got my brother to hit some shots in here. He has a bit faster clubhead speed than me, and even with his ball speeds with the driver, it's still holding, so I think unless you're going at it like Bryson, you should be good. I would say probably the biggest advantage is because it doesn't have sides, it is a very slim build. It's not that deep even with the stand at the back, so if you don't have much space, it's really a big advantage, and also because there's no sides, you can bring the mat nearer. Also because it goes up and down so easily, you really could feasibly pack this away after every time you've used it, and it just goes away into a little store bag, so you can put this in the garage or in the shed. It really doesn't take up much room at all. Okay, next up we have the Ford Ultra All Winter Golf Mat. You can actually get a rubber base for this, but because I've already got AstroTurf down, I didn't really think that was necessary. This is quite an expensive mat, but it's really high quality hitting service, and I really like the fact that it's slightly longer turf than other models, so the club doesn't bounce off the ground as much, and you don't get that really matty strikes that you can get from some really short flat mats. I also love the fact that you can just put a T-peg in anywhere, so you're not really constrained to where you put the driver. This is quite important for me because I'm using it with the GC2, that the ball needs to be in a certain position for the launch monitor to pick it up, so I'm not constrained and having to kind of move the launch monitor around all the time. This is also a really good weight. My previous mat was a bit lighter and it had a tendency to slide around a bit, which wasn't great if you'd already kind of calibrated to your launch monitor in a certain place. So this is a lot more stable and secure. Obviously you also have that advantage that there isn't a clear back or front to this, so if you did use this a lot and wear it out, you would just be able to rotate it and use it again. So I think that is a really big advantage. Okay, last up we've got the Foresight GC2 HMT launch monitor. Now really there are 3 different ways you can use this unit, because you can purchase the GC2 separate from the HMT, and this will just give you all the ball data that you would require without the club data. So with this you would get figures such as your carry distance, your ball speed, your launch direction, your launch angle, and also your spin. I think this is really key for a lot of golfers because so many of the times when I'm playing with kind of mid-handicappers or higher handicappers, they don't really know how far they're carrying the golf ball. So I think just knowing that for each club is invaluable, is going to help you golf straight off. Now the GC2 works really well in a net situation because it's taking the data from in front of the ball rather than down the line. Now it uses a series of high-speed cameras which tracks numerous pictures in the 12 inches around impact, so it's going to give you really accurate data on what the ball and the club are doing. Now these cameras are so high speed, they can actually see the dimples spinning on the golf ball. That's insane. So once it's picked up that data in that 12-inch window, it will then predict what the ball is going to do for the rest of the shot based on how you've presented the club at impact and how the ball is initially set off. Now obviously this is key because you're not getting interference with the net stopping the ball like you would be if it was tracking from down the line. Okay, so the second way of using this is by plugging in the HMT. That stands for head measuring technology. Okay, and what that's going to do is going to track the club head and give you club data. I would say, on a side note, you do have to put stickers on your club to use this unit, just so it knows exactly where the club head is, and there are 2 ways you can do this. So you can use a single dot system, and what you're doing here is just putting 1 dot in the middle of the centre of the club. This will give you club speed, smash factor, attack angle, and also your swing path. But if you do want additional information such as strike location, face angle, then you do need to go to a 4 dot system. So this is what the 4 dot system looks like. You've got 3 dots down the toe and then 1 in the heel. Now personally I really like doing this because you really have a guarantee that the device knows where the club head is and it's not making it up. I think it's especially useful for me in equipment tests because every club is a different shape and size, and I can be really confident in knowing that once these stickers are on it, it knows where the toe is, it knows where the heel is, it knows where my strike location is accurately on that club head regardless of the shape or the sizing. So for me this is a really invaluable and accurate tool. Really, once these stickers are on, I just leave them, especially in winter when there's no competitions. Obviously in summer I would take these off before I played a tournament, but just for ease of use over winter I tend to leave these on clubs. Now the launch monitor itself is really easy to set up, which is definitely an advantage because it means I can use it at home, I can also pick it up and take it out onto the golf course if I want to do testing there. So from that point of view, if you're someone who wants to use it at home but also thinks, could I use this at the range when that's open, could I use it at my golf course, you definitely can, and it's really easy to move around. Another great thing is the fact that once you set the device down and you're ready to hit, it will give you a little square and it shows you where the zone is you need to hit the ball in, and it will light up with a little green light when it's ready for you to hit, so you know that your ball is in the right place to pick up the shot. Obviously the HMT is an additional extra, you buy that separate from the GC2. I think if you're someone who's wanting to use more of the simulator side and just wanting to know kind of your carry distances, then I would probably stick with just the GC2. But if you're someone who really wants to work on your swing, maybe you're working alongside a coach, you want to be able to check your face angle, your path, know why your shots are going a certain shot shape, know if you can fix that, work on improving it, then the HMT is an invaluable addition, and especially for me, I couldn't do my equipment reviews without it. Now you also have the added bonus that if you have somewhere to set this up inside, if you have the room for that, you can put a projector up and use this with the simulator on the wall. You can play golf courses as well, but also get a really great visual of the shots you are hitting. I just need to convince my dad to let me convert the garage. Right, that's all for today. If you have any questions about any of the products, feel free to put them in the comments below. I'll also put a link to them all in the description for this video. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to hit subscribe if you're new to this channel, and if you're after more golf content, head over to the National Good Golfers social media channels for more.